Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back ladies and gentlemen for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic start to your week. Today guys, we're going to be jumping into Vechain because I'm getting a lot of comments saying, look, why isn't Vechain pumping like the rest of the market? You know, some of you are watching things like Solana, Cardano, a number of other cryptos out there absolutely kill it. Let me just tell you right now from the offset that Vechain's time is coming and it's not too far away, ladies and gentlemen. Vechain tends to, in a recovery, you know, we know the entire market, which obviously was largely coupled to Bitcoin, as the entire crypto space is coupled to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that ship or that tide that rises and sinks all ships. We saw a pretty severe sell-off and we're now recovering from it. And what we're actually seeing, guys, we have an Elliott wave count for a number of different cryptos out there, is we are now embarking on our fifth and final wave. And in actual fact, guys, are just here in the gang comparison, and we have this to come, guys. So I want to talk to you about a number of things. I want to talk to you about the more immediate time frame, the 4 hourly, and how you could essentially be coiling up right now for another test of this resistance before a break that could potentially see you go back to your all-time highs, much the same as a number of other cryptocurrencies are doing currently. Now, I've got another big kind of macro reason to believe this, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Vechain is such a solid project, by the way, and we're really going to talk about that because it seems like every single day they get a new partnership. I mean, they are just absolutely killing the game in terms of partnerships and collaborations in the crypto space. So let's look at Vechain. Let's look at the macro kind of trend. You know we have this Elliott wave count. Now, what I want to do, guys, is show you the one wave and the actual recovery, so the two wave and how that kind of played out. Now, one thing that you'll notice is, can you see, and I'll put some lines on here for you. So this was your previous local kind of high, and you didn't really break it until many other coins out there had already done so. And I'm going to show you that in this video, because you can see, and if we take the timeline here, so ultimately, guys, I think essentially in regards to where you are in your fifth wave, you're just here, where in comparison with your third wave, and you still have all this upside to come. Now, if we go from here, you can see this is around about the 30th of November. Let's take a look at some of the projects and where they were in their two wave at that time period. So let's start with Cardano, and I'm going to show you a number of other charts just to show you that I've not kind of fiddled things around. Can you see that they had already broken or were at previous all-time highs? This is the 30th of November, around about here. You can see already at your all-time highs, whereas Vechain was still considerably below it, and that's because Vechain is a laggard. It tends to do a lot in a little amount of time. You also have on the daily, very shortly, a bullish cross forming. The last time you had one of these was around here. You know, this looks very strong, and because the cryptocurrency market is such a fast moving market, you know, it's the most volatile asset class that we have currently. People get a bit disappointed when their coins aren't pumping and watching others do so. That's why you should have a bit of diversification in the crypto space. It's why we're diversified. We own around about 42 different cryptos and are actually jumping into a lot of small projects at the moment with more of a longer term outlook. But we're going to share them with you on other videos. So I hope what you're seeing here is making sense. You know, Vechain typically lags behind the market. If we look at Bitcoin and what was the date there? The 2020, the 30th of November. If we look at Bitcoin, for example, and where it was, 30th of November, you know, you can see really here that Bitcoin just absolutely leads this market, guys. You know, we don't have an Elliott wave count on here, but you can see from this kind of sell-off, you know, 30th of November, Bitcoin was right up here. It was considerably, you know, well past its kind of sell-off, and that's really because it didn't sell off in such a severe manner. And I'm showing you these just to show that I've not just hand-picked the Cardano chart to kind of make it fit my narrative. If we look here, you know, 30th of November, you can see even with Ethereum, you know, because Bitcoin leads the market, followed by Ethereum, which is a larger altcoin, you essentially go down the market caps, and it's yet to flow into, or the real FOMO to kick into Vechain. But it is coming, guys. Remember, Vechain isn't on as many as exchanges as, and this is really another reason, as these other assets. So, you know, the money kind of, there's not as many avenues for it to flow, and when FOMO kicks in, you'll tend to find it's the bigger assets that are listed on the bigger kind of exchanges that tend to benefit first. I do believe they are coming. I think there's no reason for these big exchanges to not list Vechain. In actual fact, there's lots of kind of rumors about why it is, and it could potentially be Vechain. But one thing I want to point out, guys, is can you see just here before you had this epic run up? what you did, you kind of coiled up around this resistance level. Can you see this? Ultimately, I think you're doing a similar thing today, guys, and you are in a bull market, and I want to talk to you guys about that. In the video we just did on Cardano, we looked at the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. You guys will know if you've been following the channel for a while. This was a video we put out 12 months ago where we said, look, get ready for an epic year. Get ready for 2021 to be a repeat of 2017, and prior to that, 2013. And this is really all centered around the halvening, which happens every 4 years, where you see the Bitcoin supply get cut in half. This obviously is a supply and demand kind of metric or mechanic that has to see the price go up accordingly in order for it to be profitable to mine it, etc., etc. And it ultimately drags altcoins with it and creates these kind of boom and bust cycles, which is really ties in with the Wall Street cheat sheet. Wall Street cheat sheet really highlights, and we did it here in Ethereum, highlights emotions attached to markets, and that's what you're going through right now. And ultimately, if it's followed it today, guys, we think it's going to continue to do so. And that's what I want to spend just a second talking to you about right now, because you can see a trait of 2017 and 2013. And, you know, most cryptos literally just follow this to a T, is that things didn't really heat up. You can see this is November. It wasn't really till the second half of the year that things really got parabolic, and we saw this, you know, real FOMO kick in. That's yet to come. You're still very early in your fifth and final wave. You know, and we believe you're going to get to that $1 to $1.50 mark. We reckon you're going to get to around about $1.20. We think you could actually get there. I'll quickly overlay a fib to see where that takes us. I'm using a laptop at the moment, so I'll just use a basic fib retracement tool. You can see that joins up pretty perfectly with our Elliott wave count, and we think you're going to get there, guys. We think it's going to be a pretty epic year. You're about to form that bullish cross on the weekly, where the 50 goes over the 20. You can see last time this happened and the time prior to that, guys. And things are looking great. You know, you're just lagging behind the rest of the market. And this is a trait, like I've just shown you, that Vechain kind of tends to embody. And it's such a strong project. You know, there's many people out there that are going, I'm worried that I'm in the wrong kind of asset class. Not in the wrong asset class, in the wrong asset in the crypto space. This is a project with real world adoption. We're seeing that come out left, right, and centre. It's why we're talking about it on this channel, guys. If we didn't think it was a good investment, and this is not investment advice, by the way, guys. I know that sounds rather contradictory, but ultimately I'm not to blame for you guys putting money into the market if it does well or if it does bad. It's your decisions that you need to own. All I am is somebody on YouTube talking with you, sharing my opinion, showing you some data that hopefully you know, you find some sort of use out of. So that's really the bulk of what I have for you in this video, guys. I think Vechain is still, you know, I mean, if we look at the upside from where you are currently just to your all-time highs. I'll tell you what, let me move this out of the way for you so that you can see it. I'm on a laptop right now. I'm on a brand new laptop, so I've not really got anything set up. Hold on, what are we doing here? It's been a long day, guys. Monday mornings are always pretty long for me. That's nearly 108% upside from where you are right now to where your kind of local high was here, certainly on the Bitfinex exchange. So I'd probably take it from here. So it's around about 80%, I reckon, if we take it from here. Still around about 90%. That's a huge upside and could potentially offer an amazing opportunity. I'm personally, and to my close friends and family, you know, they know that Vechain is you know, in my scopes, if you will. So that's really all I have for you in this video. I hope you guys can see that Vechain, you know, typically lags. If you look at how it kind of recovered and went into this three wave, it typically lags behind the rest of the market. Certainly it lagged behind Cardano, it lagged behind Bitcoin, and it lagged behind Ethereum. And we're seeing a similar thing take place today, guys. And like I say, if you kind of look at it, you know, you're here in comparison with your one wave, here in comparison with your three wave, and ultimately you've got this to come in your fifth and final wave, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping that's quite clear to you. You know, all you're doing when you're charting, when you're doing TAs, you're looking at previous structures, previous patterns, you're overlaying fibs, you're looking at support, you're looking at resistance, and you can kind of get quite a nice picture of what things are going to do if history is anything to go by. And things do repeat. You know, there's a natural ebb and flow to markets, like the fact that we see low volume over the summer because people go away, they want to go on holiday and enjoy themselves. Certainly that's been compounded given the circumstances that we've all just gone through. You know, we've essentially been locked up for 2 years. So that's really the bulk of what I have for you guys. I mean, everything looks fine to me. You know, I'm very, very happy with what I'm seeing. I think the volume is about to come back, and ultimately, you know, Vechain is a very, very strong project. And you can see here, guys, This was around about November after this sell-off. You weren't quite there, but ultimately what happened was much the same as what's happening now, guys. You're coming up, you're hitting your head before you then set up structure for more continuation. And once you do set that structure up, it won't be long before you're back at your prior all-time highs and beyond. And ultimately, like I say, if you couple that in with where we think we are in terms of this bull market, we think that at the end of the year into next year, because I do actually happen to believe that cycles are lengthening, is going to be pretty bloody spectacular, guys. So that's really the bulk of what I have for you. Quickly, if you're not following me on Twitter, guys, go to @RealAllInCrypto for some more timely updates. We're going to be talking about Vechain a lot more or we're going to be posting about Vechain a lot more on the Twitter, just to give you some more timely updates. But things are looking absolutely golden, guys. Lots of talk about a potential sell-off that we covered in our Cardano video earlier today in September. It's possible markets do tend to do that in September, certainly if the last 3 years are anything to go by. You can see September you sold off here, you sold off here in September, and so on and so forth. So you could see a bit of a sell-off in September, but ultimately this is a bull market, and my guess would be that after that sell-off you're going to be significantly higher towards the end of the year. Dips are for buying in a bull market, guys. They're fantastic entry points, and really, if you're looking for an entry point, that could potentially be one. We're going to do a video on, are we going to enter a bear market? I don't happen to think you're going to sell off by 95% or 85%, whatever Bitcoin sold off in 2018 or prior to that 2014. I actually think that because of the actors in the space now, because this is becoming more of a widely accepted and established asset class, you're not going to see those horrific sell-offs. You're going to see more of a miniature version of that. It's not going to be as horrific, and that works on both the up and the downside as this asset class is getting established. We have a $2.15 trillion market cap. It's going to get to the tens of trillions, I believe, in a very short period of time. You've still got a lot of floodgates that are yet to open, and by floodgates I mean a lot of people who perhaps whose hands are tied due to regulatory issues, due to a number of issues, and ultimately this space is still in its infancy and has a long, long way to go. So that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. I am going to love and leave you on that note. I hope you found the content useful, entertaining, if nothing else. And if you have, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Get subscribed. Head over to All In Twitter. Head over to All In Twitter. Head over to @RealAllInCrypto on Twitter. Give me a follow for some more timely updates. That's all I have for you guys. Have a fantastic evening.